In 2006, I sat down and actually I didn't sit down. The women sat down with Eziuche Ubani, who had written an article at that time concerning women and men, men cheating. Actually, it was regarding Hillary Clinton and all of that. Anyway, Uche dug a hole and he wouldn't stop digging. I think you should see it. I enjoyed watching it. Good morning, Eziuche.
Good morning, Funmi. I'm glad to be here.
This is a big, what your portfolio is rather, or your
Intimidating.
very intimidating.
It is not. It is not. It's all in the line of work. I've had only one career path, and that's in journalism, and that's still where I am.
And that's how you got into this trouble that you are in right now this morning. Because at the time, I mean, you know how respected your column is. And then one day you actually wrote that statement. In fact, the first time I read it, I said, what's wrong with Eziuche this morning? And you said that behind every philandering man is a frozen wife. And so on and so forth. That generated a debate about this thing, about women being blamed for everything and women's role in this society and all of that. So what point were you trying to make?
Well, a friend of mine, I didn't watch your show that day, and I heard that some comments were made on it. And I said,
I repeat we yapped you well.
For the kind of job I do, I mean, I think that has elicited the right comments also, and that means we can take the debate from there.
Right.
I don't know what this is, an inquisition or I'm on trial, but the point is that you can see that I'm brave enough to be here to stand and talk about it.
Right.
I got that from, I think that there are big issues that people take and talk about lightly, but they relate to development. And that comes down to our family values. I can tell you that my family values are very conservative, because I grew up in the village, and I know that I grew up in a very normal family and all that. But the sort of issues that people talk about now, I know what you're talking about. I read about Boris Becker, the former Wimbledon tennis player, and how he broke up with the wife and the reasons. I read about this one. Why I wrote that thing was I read Clinton's story on his years in the presidency and all that, and how events built up to his, getting involved with Monica and all of that. And I said, Hillary is very successful lawyer. People even say actually that he's much more brilliant than Clinton himself, and they've been together and all that. And you could see from, their body chemistry that there are parts of them that work, but there are some parts of them that don't seem to work. And I think that Hillary is not the kind of woman who will come back clutching her books and her policy papers and coming down to say, hey, my husband, and line, and let me just make you feel. She's not that kind of woman also. And you have this guy who's also brilliant, but he's also very socially active. I think that Clinton grew up much normally and properly and all that. And I could see that part of them is not together. That's what I read. I haven't from, what happened at the time of the scandal, that they are much more committed to their, quest for power. I think that's what works. And both of them are intelligent and loyal, so they can discuss all those issues. But down on the other side, I don't think they're together and all that. So that's why and when I listened to Boris Becker too, about how...
And it will be Hillary's fault because, she's the bookish one. And so the way she looks, she doesn't look like the kind of woman who's going to be wearing the teddy and seducing her husband.
Look like that. She never looked like that.
And Eziuche digs and you dig the grave further.
I'm not a grave digger.
I'm just watching. I'm like, oh, he's digging it. He's digging it.
I didn't dig a grave because I've also had, some very personal stories. I mean, my friends and all of that, and how people start off relationships and how the thing just changes in character somewhere along the line. And I said to myself that Boris Becker zone was that he lost the championship. I think it was Wimbledon, and he was thinking about the next thing to do. He was thinking of retiring, and he came down. And at that point, the man was in some kind of weirdness because he was going to face some uncertainty for a number of years, beating up everybody, and he was at neither of his own career and was going down. He was going down, and the guy was thinking about quitting. And that day, he made it so, but he was tormented. Even though there was a good reason for the wife to demand for they had to have a conversation, but the guy wasn't up to it because he was tormented internally and all that. And I don't think that if they were really together on that path, you'd be able to see, look, there's something wrong with this man also. Okay, fine, you start from the softer side and see how you get through it. The guy said, look, I was waiting for somebody to just talk to me, sit down and listen to somebody who will make me reassure me and say, look, it's okay. Your world is not coming to an end because your tennis career it could be opening another door and all that. So he walked off to that bar to go and have a drink because the house was hell. And he met that model, that Russian model, and that's how the marriage broke and all that. And I said to myself, we can comment on that and have a debate. Let us begin to place these issues properly. And most of the time, there are people who are very chronic, they're very chronic. Some people are addicted to issues like sex and all that. But I'm not just talking about the sex thing. I'm talking about being frozen. There are people who are frozen in mind. I grew up in a house where the therapist was my mother. She was the one who look at it. And women are imbued with that power. Women intuition also. A woman always knows when something is wrong with a man, even without a man saying anything.
Excuse me, I expect that the man will also know when something
I was just going to ask you
I don't know when everything is wrong with everybody unless they open their bloody mouth and tell me.
But men can be women. There are certain things I consider that women have very special powers. Unless people are running away from it. Because of our makeup. Because of our makeup. I can't be a woman. I can have a sex change, but I can be a woman.
Okay,
do you understand what I'm saying?
You can be a friend.
But I trust, look, I don't know, someone like me, I think that women are much more powerful than men. You people sit down and, no, wait, that's my view. Okay. Let me just go through it. I feel that women are much more powerful. Women are much more designing. Women are much more spiritual than men. And I don't know the kind of way trajectory of your debate, whether you people are not willing to play that role or you're running away from it, because that's what makes you a woman.
Can I say something? I've been looking at you and just wondering, am I hearing this conversation or...
I'm right here.
Okay, so you are not an apparition, you are real.
I'm right here.
I think, just listening to you, I'm wondering whether I know who I am. Because it looks as if you have abrogated to us powers and enablements and quote-unquote that we ourselves are seeking for somewhere outside of ourselves. You have assumed so many things about us because that's the image that you have in your mind of what a woman should be. We are not basically different from you as a man. We're just human, just like you are human. We may be softer in 1, 2, 3 things or whatever, but expecting us to be so spiritual and so intuitive that before you open your mouth to tell us something is wrong, we already know. We are not God. He's the only one who knows things that is not told him. Do you understand? And it's this thing, like Ibim was saying, relationships are a partnership. It's you and I giving something for the other. And she asked you a friend, okay, you can't be a woman, but can you be a friend? Because it's a friend who can open his mouth and say, look, this is where I feel about something, or this is where I think you should look at this thing for me. But if you just assume that because I'm your wife, I should have some intuitive part. The day I became your wife, God imbued me with such, whatever, that I would be able to discern your heart or your situation or the way you are feeling about certain things without you telling me. You are expecting too much.
First of all, you're not supposed to be in a relationship with somebody you don't share any interest with. You don't have nothing is binding you together. So that means you can't be friends. Because what keeps it going after some years is the friendship. Because there's some common interest, right? But the question is this. I don't think there's any war going on between men and women. When I talk about power, I didn't say women are supposed to be all-knowing and all that. That's not in the context I put it. But I'm saying that, yes, there is some power. That power is that, for me, I don't know about other people. I grew up in a family of 9, 11 before, then 9 later and all that. And none of us are still alive. So the women are more in number. And I know who they are and what they do. It is because people have made some very wrong choices that we have all these problems about how to be able to manage them. Whether it is friendship with a man, and a woman also. If you don't share a common interest, you can't be friends. There must be something binding you. Maybe you like somebody's mind, you like somebody's attitude, you like somebody's career, or you like, basically there must be a common ground for you to kick off a relationship, a friendship. The same thing between men. You must share a common interest. So a lot of these things are happening because people don't have so many shared interests before as a basis for the friendship, because that's what's going to keep it going. And so for us here, for instance, when I say women have power, politically and socially, I think that women are not even tapping into, because I don't know whether it's you that made that distinction. Is there any power that we know, something in us that we don't know about and all that? So socially, yes, there are quite a lot that women have, they are not tapping into. And that is, people put it down to the way women have been socialized in this society. You are trying to accept this, trying to accept that. Where I come from, it is the same rule for the man, the girl, and the boy. In the context for power, people have distorted a lot of things to say, oh no, women are not supposed to do this. And when they let it down with the hypocrisy that a lot of people prefer to live with, oh, this is a woman is not supposed to do this. But the example I gave you the other day, I said, when a woman works so hard and brings money home, it is accepted. But when a woman does some other things, no, she can't do that, she's a woman. Don't you know you're a woman? You know, a woman can be in political office because she's a woman. How can she goes to these meetings? And I said to them, this is not on. This is not right. Allow everybody to express themselves. And what many women have not discovered is that, right from when I still studied that, most of the breadwinners now are women. Take care of families, bring up children properly, and they go all the lengths to ensure that we have proper human beings who grow up in this society and contribute. So why don't we focus on that? Then this whole thing's about they did this, they say we're not supposed to do that. And talking about also that has paid off, how that has paid off. I think that women shouldn't be waving this banner of we're being marginalized. They asked us to accept this because we're broken through. If you sit down and talk about it, and I think this is something women can get together and talk about and do some review, because if in this country people have accepted a woman who did not find it proper and fit to get married, had children in her father's house, can go all the way and become a cabinet minister, go to the Senate, go to National Assembly, and even in the banks and all that, there are women who are not married, who have been MDs of banks and all that. So what does it matter? So when they say women are being marginalized, if it's about power, then women have broken through.
Why do you think a lot of women quite a number of women who are there are not married? And to be sincere, plenty of those who are married, if they tell you the real story, you won't know what it is. Why do you suppose that is so? If it is that easy that, you just do what you want to do, do you know the battles that those particular women have fought and the price they've had to pay?
There are some of those stories are very personal relationships, and that's a matter of the choice you have made. Yeah, and it hits the men as much as it hits the women. But I'm saying that should not be a basis for a woman's life to stop because she couldn't get on with her marriage, she's not able to find a husband, or the same thing for a man. There are so many people there who I know, even in the past, who did not marry, or some who are married and divorced, and they're getting on with it. People find it very, very convenient for them to vote for them in their constituencies, not appointment. They went in their communities where it matters the most, and their status are very well known. And people voted for them and asked them to go and represent them. That is something. That is very interesting. That is something women can build on. Right. And I say that I don't know how there are some other ancillary socialization processes, like I was telling you the other day about why shouldn't women sit down and talk about the power that they have? The men you talk about.
What is the power that they have that we don't understand?
Let me tell you. The power that women have is that women can, or these things about the hypocrisy and the things that they still feel that are holding women down, can be worked on, can be fought. Why I feel very sad sometimes is that women are not even fighting it. But they're fighting it in the wrong way. If, for instance, I know she here and one of the few people in the media women who take on the hard issues, big issues in the economy. You understand? She can slice through it, and over time, she's built up herself, and everybody respects her for that. When they see her, nobody says, okay, she's a woman. They remember that journalist, the one that reports on the economy, and she writes so very good at it. That's what stands her out, right? When I look at most of the female columnists, I told you about my own job. You ask people, what do they want to write about? Women want to write about relationship. Women want to write about style. Women want to write about this. Why must it be a woman who must write about style? Why can't the woman get involved and be the political editor of a paper and be exactly? So why can't we be? I'm trying that this interchange of roles is the kind of thing that we need, because when we come into that era, the women who are my heroes in here now in this country also are women who have worked by whatever this thing, they have worked hard to become what they are. But when you see them, the first thing that hits you is not that they're women. You don't even remember. Do you understand? If you see people like the obvious them and Mrs. Iwala, Mrs. Ibru, and other people also, when you encounter them, when other men also encounter them, they forget that they're women because they have worked. Look, respect is something you work for, either because you have sat down and built up yourself, and you have to earn it, as well as the men. I know for a fact that there are so many men who people don't regard. Where I come from, there are certain times in my village when there are very important things and they want to call people who are very, very resourceful, not in terms of money and all that, but who can think, who are very wise. They can leave the husband and call the wife to come to, the village where it matters the most also, because they know that the woman has achieved, she is very intelligent, she's very resourceful, and she's very knowledgeable, and the husband does not know. Something is really happening, and I think women should find a way to sit down and turn it around also. It is all here. And I feel that women should get involved in the process of socialization also. The kind of education that we had when it's not the kind of the interest that we have now, we had, I know the girls who are in my class. I know what they do now. You understand? It's not the kind of interest that people have.
I was listening to you.
And we, the guys, should also work on the guys and let the women work on the women also and say, look, for you to win respect in this country, so you have to work hard, pass your exams, get a job, and I think follow a career path, and people will respect you for that.
I was listening to you and I was enraptured because I was wondering if you lived in this country. Because I know that the women who have been cabinet ministers have actually faced an inquisition, not based on what they know, but because of who they were. And it happened in this country. The media wrote about it. They were actually taken apart because of their social choices.
The men were also taken apart.
No. Because of their social choices. They were not taken apart because of their social choices.
Okay, fine.
So the point I'm making is the women have to fight. I agree with you that we have to fight it. But the point I'm making is it's so easy to sound like it's so easy to fight because it's a battle, a Herculean task.
Can I say something?
It has never been easy. But I'm saying that women cannot sit in one corner and begin to talk about it. It has to talk. You talk about it, you don't fight it. At the end of the day, those people went through. If it's a process of screening, it has to be about your past and your present. And if it's also about the men also, the men also went through there. Some people say when you worked in the ministry of this also, you stole money and you
but how many people asked about the exactly.
But
he has them how many girlfriends he kept.
Okay, so let me
how many concubines he had.
I talk about fighting. Let me tell you how I think what I try to send people to do. We can't sit back, we talk in the papers and talk in fora like this, so many times. And it doesn't translate into action. What I'm saying to you is that women can organize to a point where, this man has, dumped how many women in his life and all that, and you're making him a minister. So no, it's not on because he doesn't have proper family values and all that.
Who are you going to take that case to?
You can take it to the people who are doing the screening.
Eziuche, please can I say something? The people who are on that panel. No, excuse me. The people who are on that panel are also guilty of the same
offenses. So are
you saying that we should stop trying? I said that it should be fought. This thing should be fought. That's what I've been saying.
If, for example, somebody stands up and says, I want to be president of this country, and you have doubt as to his moral values based on the way he treats his wife and all of that,
exactly.
I mean, why can people not, some group of people, women, and I'm sure some men will join them, not mobilize and fight it every single step of the day? For that reason alone, you cannot be president.
You know why we can't? Because those people who are going to put him in power are guilty of the same offenses.
But you're fighting not because you are sure you're going to win, but because you're fighting not because you are sure you're going to win, but you're fighting because that's the right thing to do.
No, I do agree with Eziuche.
I like that point Eziuche has made.
Oh yes,
I like that point Eziuche has made.
Yes,
there are so many things.
But I was just going to say, I'm sorry. I was just going to say to Eziuche that I think that we won't have any reason to fight if the people who are constituting the hindrance will realize that they don't have to constitute that hindrance and stop being what they're being.
But that's not true to life.
It's always not life.
That's not true to life.
No change has ever come without people fighting for it. You assume that the people who sit down, even when they know it's the right thing also, are going to do it. Why would they not do it? Because, they lose some advantage. They lose power. They lose everything. So, unless you go and say this is not the right thing to go, so they will not.
So, I'm taking you back to what you said now. Now, from everything you said now, you have just now contradicted yourself and said, you said there was no war. Now, we now agree that there's a war.
No. It's not war in that context. Men and women, they're not all the
There's some conflict.
There's
okay.
not.
So let's call it a war. There's a conflict.
You see, these issues are very developmental in nature, right? And that is the way we want to approach it, other than the gender thing, that the men are on one corner and the women are on the other corner. So I'm sure that when you do these things also, there are so many men out there who will share your point of view. Because I think that sometimes, look, I believe that women can run this country. I
agree with you.
I believe that women can run this country. If you look at the stars in this government also, most of them are women.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's something for women to celebrate. And it should be continuous. And that is because if we sit down, how can we continue that? Look, those barriers have been broken. If those people show up in any panel and all that, you're not going to say, look, the judgment will be, okay, fine, when you were minister, you did this, you did that. And that's okay. We have
what I want you to answer for me,
everything.
as we round up, what I want you to answer for me is that why are issues that women raise, even if it is a gender issue, why do men constitute it a war? If, for example, I'll tell you, even just by doing this show, I cannot tell you how many people have told you, hey, I like that, I like your program, but why are you always pushing women's causes? Why are you always talking about women? The fact that you talk about women, does it mean you're anti-male? You're just talking about something that affects you. So, therefore, why should a rational man distance himself from something just because he has a gender label? If it makes sense, I said once when I was talking about violence against women, that if this amount of violence had been directed also against men, I would still be at the forefront saying the same thing, making the same battle. So what does it matter what gender it is, if it is right, if it is good to humanity? Why do men seemingly have that problem? Now, if they are talking about women, then what's my own business? Women matter. It's our matter, isn't it?
That's everybody's matter, really. But the matter, what I think is about some level of power. Women have organized in the way they talk about these things. But so for those who feel so threatened, because if you're talking about, people have tried in this system where a woman is supposed to be hard, she's not supposed to get into starting profession.
It's tough.
She's not supposed to do. She's not supposed to do that. I didn't grow up in that kind of environment. So for people I can handle when women talk about gender. The only thing I say to them is that you cannot fight, you cannot change these things unless you have a proper strategy. I told you that I said, look, perhaps the main thing is for people to reframe this argument and the way they approach to this thing. I remember telling you that.
Yes.
And by doing that, you have to build coalitions and say, look, any society that tries to involve women in the process of development also is helping itself. It's not doing anybody fault by giving a job, because I know that women can stick to sitting down and working. They have power to work longer hours. They sit down and concentrate. They have focus also. And they result oriented. Never mind what you see about these research card people like you were talking about before. But the fact is that
you had to sleep at it. Somewhere along the line, you had to sleep it.
But the fact is that is the level of power I'm talking about. But you cannot do it, you cannot change things. Because in some other places, when you talk like this, they are threatened. They have wives and daughters they have kept at home and locked up, and they have the key in Abuja or wherever they are. They're not supposed to go out, they're not even to go shopping and all that. Do you understand? And when you say that women are supposed to stand up and pursue careers and be themselves and be happy, they feel threatened because that power they have, they are going to lose it in their family also. But that's not the proper power that you should have in your family. The proper power you should have, every man should have, is that you have encouraged all the women in there to work, be themselves, and be happy. Because, if the level of affection that we have in relationships also come because people are expected to marry, just marry, it doesn't matter who it is or so, then you go there and marry. People say, okay, go and marry, then you just marry somehow. That's the first foundation for failure, and it gets into other things. So, back to your question, the reason is that what you say threatens the power that some people have, and that's improper power. Because those people you lock up can contribute to the process of development, and that's something we can all do together.
So what you're advocating is that we should build coalition even amongst those people by not using the word gender.
Gender is in the dictionary, so it doesn't affect me one way or the other. It doesn't matter. But I'm saying that rephrase the argument, reframe your strategies also. You will see how many people will give support. I don't need any conversion. I don't need any preaching, because I grew up in that experience.
Okay, I want to find out from him.
Last cause they're going to throw us out now.
I want to find out. Okay, so now we want to reframe it. We want to do everything. You being a man, how do you think we could appeal to the men to get them on board, since we need them to be able to change?
I'll give you an example now. There's no war going on, but we don't have proper statistics. But it's I read it somewhere. I know it's not proper statistics, but it can be proven that every year over 500,000 women are raped in Nigeria, and there's no war going on. And if you talk about it, they shut you up immediately.
The men have not gathered in one place and said, okay, fine, we have to move this battalion to begin to rape women all over the place also.
But when you rape,
that's not the point. I'm not accusing them. I'm not saying this is the person who is raping who. I'm saying that those issues are not, nobody wants to put them in the front burner. Is it because at the end of the day, the gender most at risk is the female gender? What do you want us not to think about?
Who's telling you not to talk about sexual violence? Who's saying you should not talk about it?
This is what we do. This is what we do, and I know the opposition will face.
You should talk about it. Not only that, you should demand some action. People who don't, and by there are, we talk about the people who don't talk, the silent majority. That's what they call them. The people who are raped and they don't come forward. Can't talk about it
because they don't feel they'll get justice or anything.
The first thing is this. The first thing is to talk about it. The first thing is to take action. I would want somebody who's raped to go to some people who are women or whatever, and they say, okay, fine.
Why should she go to women?
Wait.
Why should she go to women?
It's not stigma. It's or go to somebody. No, not stigma. Let me tell you what we are talking about organizing here. Because if the men won't take it up also, then somebody who feels so this thing can take it up. But the person who was
so if we take it up, why should they label us? That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you go back and label us frozen. label us, give us names when we
No, not about what I said.